Martha! 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 Martha!
All right, first and foremost, I want to say call halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We are Sakari Phoenix, Hebrew Israelites that come out here week in and week out to teach our people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, their true identity according to the Bible. And that is that we are the nation of Israel of the various 12 tribes. And we come out here, to sigh and cry to our people and speak over all this confusion and noise in this land that is Babylon the Great. And we do this because we were commanded to do so. And we do this because we have the example from our ancestors, the ancient Israelites of the Bible, to follow after. So let's get that in Nehemiah 8.
This is Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 1. And all the people gathered themselves together as one man.
So all the people gathered themselves together as one man. We come out here week in and week out. We are one body. I don't know if any of y'all are old enough to remember Voltron, but that's how we form it. As one man. Go ahead.
Into the street that was before the water gate.
Into the street that was before the water gate. We come out here before the gate of Tempe Beach Park. Why they call it Tempe Beach Park? Because there's water behind that gate. Hold on one second. You got a question, man? Sir? You didn't have a question? All right. All right, no problem.
And they spake.
You don't have to move on. I was just asking if you had a question. You're all right.
And they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded to Israel.
So he brought the book of the Lord, the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded unto Israel. You see, because back then, not only did Israel know who they were, but they also knew that the laws that were written in the Torah, or the first 5 books of the Bible, the books of Moses, that was for us to follow.
Right.
Nowadays, Israel doesn't know who they are. Nowadays, Israel believes, because they were lied to and tricked into believing, that the so-called Old Testament is done away with. They were lied to and tricked into believing that the laws of God were done away with. As ridiculous as that sounds, this is the world we live in. So back then, they brought out the book of Moses and read it plainly because people already understood who they were and they already understood who the Torah was for. Now we have to do a little bit more. Now we have to go into the law, the testimony of the prophets, you know, into the hidden books that they call the Apocrypha that was taken out, into the gospel, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which is more testimony, into Paul's epistles, all these wise sayings, all these different things to bring home the point. So we do all these things, right? But in this instance, it was just simply bringing out the law. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
So who they are anymore. That's why we come out here to the highways and hedges, to teach our people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, their true identity according to the Bible.
That's right!
Because everybody on the face of this earth has a biblical identity. And only a few people on the earth even go by it. Your Ethiopians know they're Cush. Your Arabs know that they're Ishmael. But who's the black man? Who's the Hispanic man? Who's the Native American man? God's chosen people. That's who.
This is Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 2. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear with understanding, upon the first day of the 7th month.
So he went out to the streets in front of the water gate and preached the word to all the men and women who had understanding, who had sense enough to stop and listen, which is exactly what we doing out here today. We come out here before the gate, on the streets, to preach the word of God to everybody who has understanding and sense enough to stop and listen, as well as everybody who's sitting at home or wherever you are on your phones, your computers, or whatever, watching online, streaming live, recording. Anybody who care to listen can hear this word. Anybody who's passing by that don't want to stop and listen, at least can't say they didn't know, because they at least heard some of it. Just know we out here getting the blood off our hands. You do what you want. And I'm going to tell you what you ought not to do, and that's continue in sin.
Verse 3. This is Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 3. And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate, from the morning until midday, before the men and the women and those that could understand. And the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law.
So the ears of all the people were attentive to the book of the law. But as we read earlier, as the prophecy said, Israel would not consider. Israel would not understand who he was anymore or who they were anymore. So nowadays, we get our brothers and sisters walking by snickering and scoffing and laughing. They don't have time to hear the word of God. Now, we come out here on Saturday, they have it in their mind, reserved for the most part, that they're going to go to church on Sunday. But they're going to go to church on Sunday, and they're not going to learn a damn thing. We pull out scriptures up here, rapid fire, all day. Scriptures that Christians that are 3 times my age and been going to church, never missed a Sunday, never heard of. I remember one time I opened the book of Habakkuk and a Christian said, "What is a Habakkuk?" Crazy. But he could quote all of Paul's epistles off the top of his head with no understanding. But this is the point, to come out here and give the people understanding.
And Ezra the scribe, this is Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 4. And Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood, which they had made for the purpose. And beside him stood Mattathiah, and Shema, and Ananiah, and Uriah, and Hilkiah, and Messiah, on his right hand, and on his left hand, Pedaiah, and Mishael, and Micaiah, and Hashem, and Hashabandana, and Zechariah, and Meshullam. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people.
So on his right hand, he had all these men. On his left hand, he had all these men. And it said in the beginning of this chapter that they came out as one man. They came out as a unit.
Right.
So everybody out there that just hates camp so much, it's okay, we still love you. That's why we doing this in the first place. If the hate was reciprocated, we'd be at home doing whatever the hell we want to do, just like you being lazy, not spreading the word, not doing what the Bible tells you to do, not doing what the righteous men of God have done since the days of old.
Nehemiah 8 verse 5. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people, for he was above all the people. And when he opened it, all the people stood up. And Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God.
So when we come out here week in and week out, what's the first thing we do once we cut this mic on? First and foremost, I want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. That's all praises to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. What did he do?
And Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God. And all the people answered, Amen, Amen, with lifting up their hands. And they bowed their heads and worshiped the Lord with their faces to the ground.
Now, if we lived in a time where people in general were righteous, this would happen at the opening of every one of our camps. Every time we come out here and we bless God and give Him all praises in the name of His only begotten Son, the people would say Amen, put their hands up, put their faces toward the ground, and all that. But what happens? People ride by, honk their horns, rev their engines. People drive by and yell racial slurs at us, say stupid things like hail Satan and whatever else. Accuse us of being Muslims. Because you people ain't right. But that's okay. It ain't over yet. You can still get right. Because all of us wasn't right. But some men came out on these streets, preached the word and made sense of it. We heard it and took heed to it.
That's right!
So the same way, we come out on the streets, preach the word, so y'all can hear it and possibly take heed to it and do the same.
Bring it out!
And spread this thing to the four corners of the earth.
Ah!
Because our people are everywhere.
Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 7. Also Joshua and Bani and Sherebiah, Jamin, Akub, Shabbatai, Hodiah, Messiah, Kalida, Azariah, Josabad, Hanan, Peliah, and the Levites.
Look, if this ain't a camp, I don't know what is. Go ahead.
Cause the people to understand the law, and the people stood in their place. So they read in the book of the law of God distinctly.
They read in the book of law distinctly. Go ahead.
And gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading.
And gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. Look, that church y'all grew up in, they don't come out to the streets and preach the word. They stay in their building. Even in that building, they don't read the book distinctly. They don't give the sense. They'll read half a verse from an epistle of Paul completely out of context, tell you that the Old Testament is done away with, which, by the way, is the only reference Paul even had. Everything Paul was talking about is based on what they call the Old Testament.
That's right!
They try to make Paul out here to be some deviant life, some ungodly, lawless man. And people believe it and think it's okay because those church leaders do not read the book distinctly and give the sense. So let's do that for Paul. Brother, give me Romans chapter 1. We're going to go to the first epistle of Paul, the first chapter from the top.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 1. Paul, a servant of Yahushua, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of Yahweh.
So this is Paul's introduction, all right? He's writing this letter and he's saying that he is Paul, a servant of Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Keep going, brother.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 2, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures.
So Yahushua, or who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who was promised aforetime from the prophets in the Scriptures. Let's see what he's talking about. Is that what I need? Because a lot of people that come against the New Testament, or the so-called New Testament, say that this Jesus Christ character was just some made up out the blue, some Roman fairy tale. Not so.
You know it says in the Bible not to go out preaching the word of God?
Oh, really? It says not to go out preaching the word of God? Come here. Let's read it. Nehemiah, chapter 8. Where are you going? I thought you wanted to hear the Bible. Oh, this man said, fuck the Bible, but he want to tell us what the Bible say. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right!
And I feel sorry for that four-legged dog he walking, because I can only imagine the abuse he's suffering at the hand of the goddamn devil. The world will rejoice when there's no more of them. That includes the bees, the plants, the animals, and everything. And defiled the whole world. We just got done reading in the Bible about going out to the streets and preaching the Bible. And the damn white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man, want to tell us that the Bible say don't do that. How many names did you just read were with Nehemiah? I wasn't even counting, but it was a lot. So I guess all them men is wicked then, huh? I guess when Christ said go out to the highways and byways, that he was just lying, huh? Who am I supposed to believe? The Messiah, the Son of God, or some cracker that sleeps outside with his dog to stay warm?
Yeah, that's right.
This is Daniel, chapter 7, verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion and glory.
So the Son of Man, for those of you who don't know, who's given dominion and glory, this is Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, being spoken of and prophesied about in the book of Daniel, the so-called Old Testament. Go ahead.
And a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away.
And his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
And his kingdom shall not be destroyed, cannot be destroyed, and will never be destroyed.